It's absolutely pouring down today, but it's all right. I've got the Mark 1 digging tool with me. Hello and welcome back to what is now the fourth episode of Dennington Hall's weekly vlogs. Today I'm going to have a look at one of our most famous fields, which we call Ageys Bedroom. And before anybody gets into it, I don't know why it's called Ageys Bedroom, and nor does Robert, the owner, but we call it Ageys Bedroom for reasons unknown. This field has been direct drilled now for 5 years, and I think it's quite important that we have a look at it and see what the baseline is, what the improvements are, what the soil looks like. So here we have winter wheat established in the middle of October, direct drilled into a summer catch crop. You can see some of the stubble still standing from last year's wheat, where we've drilled the rows of wheat either side of it, and you can see the residue of the summer catch crop. I'll get the trusty spade out and have a look in depth. So the soil is made up of 22% clay, 28% sand and 50% silt, so it's about average, an average field here at Dennington Hall Farms. And let's just see what it's like when I break it open. So instantly you can see worm activity. The soil itself quite moist, but breaking away nicely. Rooting on the wheat, if I don't break them off. Got good roots going down already, sort of 5-6 inches in there. There's a few worms there. But yeah, looking well. So a little bit more about the history of Ageys Bedroom. In 2022, we direct drilled winter barley with the horse avatar. We then harvested that at a yield of 10.2 tonnes a hectare. Went straight in with oilseed rape in 2023, and that yielded 3.6 tonnes a hectare. We then followed the oilseed rape with a summer catch crop. And we learnt a lot, and that was in the autumn of 2024 when it was quite wet. We actually learnt that we could get on the field with the drill and direct drill our wheat crop without the soil picking up on the wheels or the drill, and that allowed us to have the benefit of a comfort blanket. And that was harvest 2025, and the wheat done 8.3 tonnes a hectare. Now, 8.3 tonnes a hectare doesn't sound great, you know, when our 5-year average is somewhere around 9.5 tonnes a hectare. But last year, yields were down because of the drought, and our farm average was actually 8.6, so we weren't far off the farm average. We've also been testing the fungal and bacterial activity within the soil, and we had the results back just last week actually to see where the Ageys Bedroom is sitting. And on the microbiometer reading, we had 544 micrograms of carbon per gram, and that translated into about 34% fungi and 66% bacteria. So we've got a ratio of 0.5 to 1 on the fungal to bacteria activity within the soil. We also done core sampling using agricarbon, and we found that between ground level and 15 centimetres, we had storing 32 tonnes of carbon, 15 to 30 centimetres, 24 tonnes of carbon, 30 to 60 centimetres, we've got 16 tonnes, and right down 60 centimetres to 1 metre depth, we've got 15 tonnes. So overall, this field is now storing 87 tonnes of carbon per hectare. Starting to get really wet and windy, but we'll continue. So harvest 2025, we had a yield of 8.3 tonnes a hectare. And when you add up the 238 pounds received from SFI from the summer catch crop and the no-till farming, we had a gross margin of £1,012 and a net margin of £650 a hectare. And to put that into context, that would mean that a conventional farm system would have to yield 10 tonnes a hectare last year. So what does it look like this year? So straight after harvest, second week of August, we were in with the horse avatar and we direct drilled the summer catch crop, which consisted of buckwheat, mustard, tillage radish and phacelia. We then left that and it grew, and you can see that some of the residue that's left behind, it was fairly up there. It was, waist high when we got to October. We then sprayed that off and direct drilled Ageys Bedroom at about 380 seeds a square metre, about 190 kilograms a hectare. We then give it a pre-em of Proclus, Liberator and Defy, and a few slug pellets along the way. So far, we have spent £276 a hectare on inputs and £130 on machinery cost. And please bear in mind that we've got the SFI payment coming in off the summer catch crop and the no-till farming. I am getting really wet, so I think it's time to call it quits. But this week on the farm, we've been hedge planting, we've been ditching, we've been loading lorries. We hosted the Neroso spray operators course put on by Fram Farmers in our calf shed building, which is a bespoke meeting room that we hire out to local businesses. And next week we are moving some muck from one of our straw muck deals and bringing some more organic farmyard manure onto the farm. So I hope you've enjoyed watching and learning a bit about Ageys Bedroom. It's time for me to get some shelter before I get totally soaked. And if you like what you've seen, please subscribe and like. And I'll see you next week. Thank you very much. Goodbye.